Brianna, and this is Everything Grows, where we talk about growing from where we are. Today we have Josh with us, and I'm so excited to have him. You know, first I always start with, how do I know this person? This is my cousin. Oftentimes, you get those connections with your family members and you have those conversations to the side. And I felt like Josh was just perfect to have on here because he's very insightful to me. When I speak to him, I feel like I'm speaking to someone, as people say, well beyond their years, but always feel like I could connect with him. So we're having Josh on here today because we're talking about that money, money, money.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So we're talking about finances and the connection between mental health. And we think we were having an earlier conversation just about how that influences you. And I think there's also a section on that we could talk about faith, having faith in yourself, having faith in your finances, having faith in the prospect that you can grow if you have, and again, grow from where we are. So here's
Mhm.
Josh. And Josh, I just want you to start off by telling us about who you are and what you're getting into these days.
Yes, sir. So I'm Josh. I'm a financial professional. I'm 24 years old and I graduated from Bowie State last year, in December. Um, and so how I got into finance is it's not a crazy story. It's not like it's never been done before. But in college, I was actually at like one of my lowest points. Being a college student and having, to go through college and um the financial part of college is what really messed me up. So I would say about my junior year of college, I hit my rock bottom. And I was just like, what is going on? How can I get, some type of money flowing? I feel like every time I get some money, it's going out of my pockets. So it sent me on a journey where I did some pretty deep research into the financial industry. And after college, I studied business management. So after college, I got into the financial space, and now I'm studying to be a financial advisor. So about by the end of 2025, I will be a financial advisor.
Perfect. I know that's right. And,
Yeah.
that's literally what I was about to ask you when I stopped myself before we started. I was going to ask
Mhm.
you, did you work while you were in school? Because I
Uh-huh.
know I worked while I was in school.
Yeah.
My sophomore year, when I got to school, first generation, mind you, for my
Oh
cohort.
yes.
Look, for
Yeah.
my cohort.
Right.
So first
Yeah.
generation. And then so that's money thing. And my sophomore year, I decided to become a RA, a resident assistant for those
Hmm.
who don't know. And I was a RA all throughout until I graduated.
Oh, you had it
Yes,
easy.
I was, and then luckily at NCCU they paid you. So they
Oh
paid. I think
yeah.
it was like $300 a month. So they paid you at the
Hmm.
end of the month, but you had to get paid
A
once a
little
month
something.
every month.
That's a
So
little
you
something.
get paid, but you also had that money taken off for your room and board. So I was wondering, like, how did you get creative, or when did you start getting
Mhm.
creative when you were in college?
Right. So, I've always been a worker. I've always had a job. And crazy enough, I had three jobs at one time when I was in college. So, I was just very resourceful. Um, when I was in my earlier stages, because I was on scholarship for my first 2 years.
Mhm.
But once that scholarship dropped off, that's why I said my junior year, I got into all of this, hitting rock bottom and all that type of stuff because I had to pay my own way. And I didn't really know what that meant until it hit me in my face. It smacked me. So
You said, this
yeah,
how much this costs?
that bill smacked me. So I quickly like transferred into getting another job. Um, I had three jobs. So my first one, I worked at like Safeway as a little guy that pushed carts.
Mhm.
And that was a little like 12, $11. And then another one I had was I work with kids with disabilities. So I work with kids on the spectrum with Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, a lot of different other things.
Mhm.
Um, and then I'm an AV guy, so I work for a church doing AV on Sunday. So like every day of the week I was working, but on the side I was in school full time, but I was working more than I was in school. So yeah, that's where I kind of gained my foundation, and we've seen it in our family.
Mhm.
Like all our uncles and aunts, they are hard workers, and I
Mhm.
just took from that cloth.
Yes. And that's what my thing was as well. I was like, if I have time, I'm gonna feel it whichever way I can. Well, I was involved heavily on campus, but also
Mhm.
I worked at an embroidery shop, and the embroidery shop also happened to be a Greek shop. So
Okay.
plenty different kind of people
Yeah.
were coming in there having
Hmm.
different kind of conversations. And at that time, I had my body butter business. And I was,
Really?
yes, and I was like, telling people like, yeah, I have shea butter. Da, 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 da. I go to
Uh-huh.
SCU, networking,
Entrepreneur.
and yes, natural, and pushing that different energy out. So I wonder, I feel like you're a very charismatic person as well. So how much of that did you realize, like, okay, gotta push this energy here, push this energy there, but and also I guess what kind of mindset did you have as well to say like I just need to take care of myself, and what did that look like just stepping into
Hmm.
that?
Yeah. What I feel like, first of all, like I think the question is kind of like, where did I get my charismatic from?
Well, that was the first part, but then I
The
was
first.
also that was two parts, two different questions.
Okay.
So yeah, you could go
I
first.
think I think is just being resourceful, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
because you're not going to have everything that you need, especially like in college. That's when you're away from your family and you got to kind of get it on your own. So that's what ended up happening. I met a few people, and that's how I got into my first job as a working with Safeway.
Mhm.
And then from there, like I networked my way into like getting into um my other position with working with kids. But the church was always like family, but I would just go on Sundays, work a little bit, get the little paycheck.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I think it comes from resourcefulness, and then like you and I think one more thing is like my love for people. I feel like people are the most interesting thing on earth.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny that we can have different conversations with different people just walking down the street. And that's kind of where, I got my resourcefulness from, is just like talking to people
Mhm.
and, building relationships.
Mhm. And being
Mhm.
and being kind, I think that's another thing that like resourcefulness, but I think that's a family thing as well, to
Yeah.
be kind, extend where you can.
Hmm.
The perfect person popped up in my mind, Uncle Chris, because
Yeah.
immediately I was
Yeah.
like, we learn from the number one hustler.
Uh-huh. Yeah. On
The
earth.
Man, I can't tell you how many school events I
Uh-huh.
done walked out to be like, or
Yeah.
somebody else graduation, you be like,
Do I
hi.
know you?
And he like, what's up? Like, let's do it, let's do it. So
Hmm.
I think that's a great thing. And also just having like a very open energy, very open heart,
Yeah.
not not necessarily expecting anything from anybody else,
Right.
but also expecting that you will always get what you need to receive. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's a part of it as well. So I guess
Hmm.
we could push more into this money conversation. So can
Yeah,
you
for
tell us
sure.
a little bit about your philosophy, like your philosophy on finances, how you maybe look at them now opposed to when you were in college? And I know it doesn't have to be that's the thing for young adults, because I know that's the focus for me, but also sometimes
Hmm.
people older do listen. But
Hmm.
there's a real switch that has to happen when you transition to understanding like, okay, we have to take care of ourselves, I have to take
Hmm.
care of myself, I have to look differently at the way that I spend, but also yeah, let me let you answer the question first. What's your philosophy on money?
Okay. Cool. So my philosophy, one of my main philosophies around money is paying yourself first. And I know a lot of people say it, but it's really important to know the value of paying yourself first before you pay the IRS, before you pay the bank. Well, I would say pay God first and then yourself, because God, the reason you even got money. So yeah, just paying yourself right after God. Another one I had was just being self-aware. Like, knowing where you are in life and knowing what you have to do, and then knowing where you want to go.
Mhm.
So a lot of people, um, like in their 20s, a lot of people don't know that this is the best time to invest in anything that you can buy. Like it's the best time to get into the stock market. It's the best time to buy insurance. It's the best time to do anything that you want to do because of compound growth. You know, a lot of people try to invest in the stock market when it's going up, but when you're already invested in the stock market, your stock is going up way more. So I think paying yourself first, getting a savings account, and then getting also an investment account is very vital to you growing.
Mm. And what is compound growth for people who may not know?
Okay. Yeah, compound growth is, let's just say you put $1 in a stock market or in a any account that has interest attached to it. It can either go up or down.
Mhm.
So when you see with credit cards, you see a lot of interest going down, like taken out of your money. But in the stock market, it's the opposite. It's like interest in your money going up. So let's just say I invested $1 into the stock market and the stock market goes up 1%. Then I would gain 1% on my money. But the next day it doesn't stop. It doesn't start over from zero. You know, the stock market can go up 5%. So that
Mhm.
means your stock or your dollar has gone up 6% versus the person that put it in on that day, they would gain 5%.
Mhm.
So
So
that's what compound interest is.
yeah, and
And
then
it's just stacking money on top of each other.
they talk about making your money work for you instead of
Yes.
you trying to push it around, trying to make it do more different things. And I think that
Hmm.
it's important for us, like that's one of the things that I talk about is self support for everything growth overall. Because self support is going out, doing what you need to do to find the information that you need to find or need to have.
Hmm.
And I think it's really important for people to hear these things and learn about them because our community doesn't know too much
Hmm.
about this. Learn about it, teach other people around you, and that's the reason that we're having this conversation. And
Yep.
I wanted to go into that as well. When you think about it, some people may have that fear to say, "Well, I don't even have enough to pay this or pay that, so
Hmm.
how am I gonna pay myself
Yeah.
first?" And I know my advice: do it while you can. Do it as soon as you can. Get on the right track
Yeah.
soon.
Hmm.
As soon as you
Yes.
can. As soon as you start, as soon as you get out there in
Hmm.
the field.
Yeah.
Go ahead, cousin.
So one thing I'll say about that is starting when you can. When you can, a lot of people don't know when they can start. I'll tell you when you can start right now. When you have paid off your high interest debt, that means credit cards. Like you cannot start investing heavily. You can start investing, but not heavily until you pay off your cards. I'm gonna give you an example. Um, Credit card debt is like a hole. Like you digging yourself into a hole every time you spend that money. You're digging yourself into a hole. But investing is you growing, is like you throwing dirt back in the hole. Your income is your shovel. So if you're throwing uh money back into or dirt back into the hole, it's still increasing, but the the automatic interest from your credit cards is still digging that hole deeper. So as much dirt as you throwing back in the hole, it's still going deeper. So what you need to do is pay off them credit cards and then start. Okay. Maybe you need to, pay off a car or something if it has a very high interest, like 19% or something like that. But a lot of people start investing, but it's really pulling them. So you're trying to invest, which is going up, but your credit card and all this debt is taking you down. So you're really not going nowhere.
Mhm. I, I like that analogy as well. I like that
Hmm.
show. And that's really good for people to understand though, because you don't realize that it's hitting you until you realize that it's hitting you.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, when you can't, and I'll tell you, when I learned about how people use credit cards, like there are people who use with the money, because what you're supposed to do is use it, pay it all off. But people
Yep.
use it and pay that 25% or pay this
Mm-hmm.
percent or pay,
Yeah, that minimum
30,
payment.
whatever they have so many different numbers that you can pay. Yes, the minimum
Mm-hmm.
payment, but that's how you again get yourself into a hole, get yourself into things. The comment saying keeping up with the Joneses or trying to
Right.
live a lifestyle that is not the lifestyle that you can afford. That's how you
Mm-hmm.
also get into those parts, get into those things. So be honest, friends, with
Yeah.
your
Be honest with yourself.
how has that been for you, Josh? Like maybe having a few conversations with maybe people not being honest in those conversations.
Mm-hmm. It's a tough thing to do, uh, because I think in the financial industry we work with people, especially like I want to help our community. And a lot of people in our community, they they don't really have that self-awareness. They have their eyes on social media, or they have their eyes on, you know, their favorite rapper or something like that. We have to be in the mindset and be like self um self looking at yourself, you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
looking at your situation.
yeah.
You
Reflecting
have a
on
unique situation.
your.
You're the only one in this situation. Is you. And a lot of times I struggle with telling that person like, is you got yourself in this situation, but it's up to you to get out of it. Like you can't really like throw it off on somebody else. You can't blame anybody else. It's up to you.
And
Yeah.
that's the same thing. I feel like, and that's why I thought it was important to have this conversation, because I have a lot of conversations about decision making. And when we don't
Hmm.
trust ourselves to make decisions, that's how we get into, again, with that loop of bringing ourselves into situations, or you feel bad about something and people say like they will have like I gotta go buy something, or you're like I gotta go
Hmm.
eat something,
Oh
or
yeah.
you like like you building those different habits. And that's something for everyone that's listening to think about. How do you spend money, but also how does your emotions affect how you spend your money? What
Oh
are
my
you
gosh.
how are you like emotionally investing into your life with your finances? So John, did that bring up anything for you for the way that you perceive like your job, or any light bulbs just went off?
Yeah.
Hmm.
When you said how your emotions affect how you spend your money. And the funny thing is, I have this book right here. It's called The Psychology of Money. So this book right here, The Psychology of Money, this is like my favorite finance book. Over the ones that's teaching you how to invest, over the ones that's teaching you how to get out of debt. Psychology of Money, I think is the first book anybody should read when it comes to money, because it really puts you in that mindset of like, what how do I feel and how do I move off of how I feel.
Hmm.
So it goes deeper into psychology profiles and like how this person um either got their wealth or self-sabotage themselves. Um yeah, so that's a light bulb that went off when you said how you spend based on how you uh are feeling.
Yeah, and that could move also into. I like to think about. I like that element of considering yourself or paying yourself first, but I also like to put in considering yourself first when
Hmm.
people invite you out, and you think of how many times you may not have wanted to go with these people. You ain't want to go nowhere. You still
Yeah.
went out, and then the next day you look at your bank account. We know the
Hmm.
prices are high today. You look
Oh
at
yeah,
a
for
$100
sure.
bill and you like, dang, I didn't even have to go out, and now I spent this money on something that. blah 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 blah. But
Hmm.
yeah, definitely emotions tying into that. But also I was thinking about generationally, how the money affects us generationally, how we think about money, how we hear other people thinking about money. And I wanted to ask Josh, are there some tips that you can give people like that would like it could even be something that's just so boring that could set them up for success, just like
Yeah.
thinking about their money differently or managing their money differently
Hmm.
moving forward.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say save your money because we've heard that so much.
Mhm.
I and I think that's very, very important. But I think what's more important than anything, any financial advice I can give you is me telling you to learn about money. This game, this I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it from my professors in school down to my mentor now.
Mhm.
They play a different game when it comes to money. They know they've been taught these things. Growing up in schools, we didn't really learn about money. And
Mhm.
they had their parents at home teaching them, okay, this is what the stock market is, this is what a stock is, this is what a bond is, this is what a mutual fund is, this is what
Mhm.
retirement accounts are. And it's we don't have the knowledge to even put up a fight when we're in these rooms with these people. We don't know what we don't know. So the
Mhm.
first thing I would tell anybody is to do research on money.
Yeah.
Like whatever you want to know is on the internet. It's just one Google search away. And
Mhm.
that's how I got started. I got started by watching YouTube videos. It's hard. It's about to get wicked. I was watching YouTube videos for like 8 hours a day. I was watching them all night because
Yeah.
another thing, another piece of advice. Um, they say you are who you hang around.
Mhm. Thank you for that, Josh.
The way I changed who I was, it wasn't from nobody even near me. It was from me watching YouTube 8 hours a day.
Mhm.
I was watching Anthony O'Neill. I was watching Ramit Sethi. I was watching Dave Ramsey. Even though those people have their opinions about finance and all that type of stuff, I then from the knowledge that I gained, I created my own opinion around money. I created my own systems. And that's something you can do as well. Is YouTube is free
Mhm.
and you
And
can change who you are.
yeah, and I want to put in at the end of that because I told Josh has that wisdom. Use discernment.
Oh
Build
yeah.
on your discernment. Practice that muscle. Everything that you have to do, mental health, financial health, all of that stuff, you have to practice, but definitely have discernment and pay attention to what people, because like he said, all of them have their opinions on different things. But if you're listening purely for the facts, there's information in a lot of different things. Whether we want to hear everything, you can skip. It's a little skip button.
Hmm.
Their message
Yeah.
is just not resonating with you. Go ahead and get off of that and go find somebody else to bring you that information. So
Hmm.
yes, I love that you put that point in at that
Yeah.
point. So I would say, Josh, what's your money mantra right now?
What's my money mantra?
Hmm.
That's hard. Um, hmm, to save more than I spend. Me personally, because I'm a guy. I'm not a big spender, but when I do spend, I spend, and I always want to keep it like under what I'm making. I want to keep more than I give away. So before I go out and buy things, I want to pay myself first. I want to put money into the stock market. I want to put money into my savings account, stuff like that.
So what does Josh splurge on?
What is y'all splurge on? I told you I'm an
Mhm.
AV guy.
So your
What I
technology.
Yes, yes,
Hmm.
yes.
But that's how you further your business, and that's again like making smart decisions. When you need to drop
Mhm.
that, as they say, you need to drop that bag. You're gonna have to drop
Yeah,
that bag, but it's
yeah,
gonna push you further and elevate you to do
hmm,
some bigger and better things.
for sure,
So
for
you,
sure.
Josh is about the money. He
Yeah,
said, "Get it in."
yeah.
So so we talked about definitely building upon what you already have, saving, paying off those credit card bills. As far as like a mindset shift, again, you say you did it, you the person. I'm trying to think back to the conversation because you did drop a lot of really good points already. And I'm
Hmm.
trying to think, is there any other points in that framework of getting your mind ready to
Hmm.
get into working on your finances? And I talked about this in another space about mental health. It's so maybe I'll answer part of it and then you could elaborate
Yeah, for sure.
on getting yourself in the mindset of this is what's happening, this is what's going on, and I have to be the first word disciplined. And we have so many negative connotations. I think what I'm trying to get to is how do you make this not scary for people?
Mm-hmm.
How do you make money not scary for people? Because I think that's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that's a lot of people's perspective, especially in the time that we're in right now. There's a lot of insecurities going around in the world, not only just America, but in the world. So how would you what advice would you give to someone to not make this seem scary?
The more you know, I keep on coming back to knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
The more you know about something makes it not scary.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was scared of the market. I was scared of, what a company might do or what Trump might say. Like, I was scared, but when you really look at these products and, these tools, I guess you can say, because I don't look at money as money anymore. I look at it as a tool, you know. Is money is not like my savior or money is not going to save me. Is what I do with the money. So I look at it as a tool. But back to the question, how to get not scared or like how to release the fear around money. Um, look at the accounts. Look at the accounts. Know where you are. Because when you know when you are where you are, you can dream about where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And once you know where you are, put in the work to get to where you want to go. Um, whether that's like waking up early, getting another job, and doing different things with your money instead of like going out, you might want to put that money into savings or put that money into the stock market or something, or invest in real estate, something instead of not where knowing where you are.
This is I feel like this has been amazing. I feel like we got this information out. So are there any other financial seeds you'd like to plant for today for our listeners?
Um, hmm, read more. It's all about knowledge. I'm really a knowledge guy. Like
Yeah.
I want to know about it. Like
And I love when you said that you spent 8 hours like listen because I connected with that. I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold. But when I
down
come
a
out,
rabbit hole.
I know so much, and I'm like, okay, like
Uh-huh.
I'm ready to move on to the next thing. So I
Yes.
definitely resonate with you on that. Like educate
Mhm.
yourself, and that's what everything grows is about. When I started, that's the same thing. I want you to speak about that to your platform as well before we
Mhm.
get off of here and what your intentions are behind your platform. But I know for everything goes, I feel like it's the same thing to make sure that we get the information that we know out to people so that therefore we can have a better community overall. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn that over to you,
All right,
Josh.
cool. So my Instagram handle is underscore Josh Groce. My last name is Gross, but I spell it differently. Um, so that's my Instagram. I have a LinkedIn page, is my name, Joshua Gross. Um, I'm starting once I pass on my test, become a financial advisor. I am going to open up a LLC, which is a company named Uplift Financial. and we'll be coming back to the community and helping in any way possible.
Mhm. Yes,
Yeah,
and we will be collaborating.
for sure.
Yes, and plug the expo while you're here.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I am the operations manager of the wonderful, wonderful Black-owned small business expo in the DMV. Um, we've been at it for what, 8, 9 years now.
I think it's 9.
Um, yes, nine. It's nine. And what we do is we make sure that the Black businesses in the area have a light shown on them, because a lot of the time small business can be overlooked, but we are really the backbone of the Black community. So instead of spending y'all money during Christmas time, because we have it the day after Thanksgiving or the day after Black Friday, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Small
Black on
Business
business,
Saturday.
yeah. Mhm.
hmm we have that every Small Business Saturday, which is 2 days after Thanksgiving. Instead of spending your Christmas money with the big corporations like Target, come to our expo and
Mhm.
spend your money with the Black-owned small businesses in the area.
And there's education there as well. That
Yes.
these still speakers and everything
hmm
comes and go not only to shop but also, as we say, get educated.
Right.
And it's just when I was in middle school, we used to have this chant, and at the end of it says, "Because knowledge is power, and power is freedom," and I want it, and I used to love it, and I even think about it till today, like your knowledge
Yeah,
is your power. And as
that's
they say,
dope.
like that's the one thing that can't nobody can take from you, what you have in your
Yes.
brain, and you never know what you learn, how what you learn could move you to a different space, how what you learn can connect you to a different person. You honestly never know.
hmm
So Josh, I just want to thank you so much for speaking with me
Yeah.
today and
Yeah. Thank you for letting
sharing
me
your
come on.
knowledge. Of course. You know, I'd be too
Uh,
excited. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for what's to come for both of us, for all of us. And I hope that y'all listen and get it going, because this is our lives. I love to talk about as well, just leaving on this point, that this is our first time to take care of yourself. When you were a child, your parents took care of you. You can take care of yourself the exact way that you want to. No matter
mhm.
what you want to do, if you put in the right kind of work and have the right kind of faith, anything is possible. And we've seen
Yeah.
it. So we've seen it.
hmm
Any other points, Josh?
Nah, I don't have any.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, keep growing, friends, and thank you.
Peace.